What's happening, guys? So, more spoiler talk, obviously. I wanted to talk about a rumor that had been floating around for about a week or so. And it mainly deals with, did the snap from Avengers Endgame bring mutants into the MCU, or could it possibly bring mutants into the MCU? I just wanted to just explore that theory a little bit. So I seen it kind of floating around like on Reddit a little bit, and I seen something on Twitter earlier, just bringing the whole thing back up. And we'd also got some comments. I think it was on This Is Covered. We got this covered.com. Yeah, we got this covered.com. So they had actually got comments from the screenwriters, both Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. And the quote, I believe, was from Christopher Marcus. I believe it was Christopher Marcus. One of the two of them said this. He said, "Anything is possible, but I don't know. Whether you need that genetic mutation is a mutation, it just happens. Maybe they're already out there." I kind of just want to play with the idea and what it might mean for the MCU, because on one hand, you have the whole idea of mutants already existing, possibly, and from Avengers Age of Ultron and the whole idea of the experiments with both Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver unlocking powers that they already had. I believe Kevin Feige already made that comment and kind of put that out there already, that it unlocks something that was already within them. And I think that's a place that they're kind of, when they do introduce mutants into the MCU, and I talked about in my review video for Avengers Endgame that Kevin Feige already mentioned there's going to be some years before we really get a bigger reveal in the MCU, about 5 years roughly, something like that. And I believe, even though that might be to where we get our biggest reveal of anything, but I believe there's going to be little things sprinkled in here and there. And I believe Avengers Endgame was like your second biggest thing to do that with the snap. Well, while we're on the conversation of the snap period, in the last video, I only mentioned 2 of the snaps. And a bunch of you guys in the comments was talking about, no, there was 4 snaps, man. It was 4 snaps. Just snapping, just 4 of them. Okay, slow down. All right, so out of all the snaps, I would have to say that there was 3 snaps. To my knowledge, there was 3 snaps in 5 anomalies. And just going in order, you have the snap that Thanos did in Avengers Infinity War that got rid of half the universe. Then after that, the second thing you had was where he fixed Titan and making it Titan 2, making all the vegetation and agriculture, all that, bringing it back to the planet, making it Titan 2. Third, you would have Thanos using the stones to destroy the stones. And I mean, the second and third, we don't know if there was a snap gesture or what. The Russo brothers, they already declared that to use the gauntlet, it's not like you snap every time. To use the gauntlet in the MCU, you just close the fist and you can use the gauntlet however you like. That's 3. Then after that, you have 4 would be with the Hulk use the gauntlet to bring everybody back. And then 5, of course, you have Iron Man use the gauntlet to get rid of Thanos and the Black Order and Thanos' Armada. So those are just the 5 anomalies. 3 of them we know to be snaps specifically. The other ones, could have been whatever, just close the fist, whatever. And with the Hulk saying that the stones emit their gamma radiation, it's possible that with the stones working together and amplifying each other's power, the Power Stone with it, working with the Mind Stone, that same effect that we got on Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver may have taken place on a universal scale and become a type of catalyst to unlocking things that already have been within people. And it's possible that they can use like even cases to bring up where they've seen people with certain types of showing certain traits of having mutant powers already, on a much smaller scale, but then having the snap and the people returning, having a bigger effect on the universe. And I would say not just for the people who have snapped away and came back, but for everyone. Because that gamma radiation has crossed, it has affected people who stayed and people who were dusted away, both in the same. So I think that would be a key thing important, not just to say that people went away and came back were the ones who became mutants, but saying that it's something that affected everybody. Because even when Thanos used the stones on Titan and Rocket picked it up and showed it to the rest of the Avengers, it's like, okay, this was a huge signal that could be traced. And that signal may have effects, or that gamma radiation may have effects. Another thing I would say, and I feel like this kind of plays into my thoughts on the whole topic of, much like with Spider-Man Far From Home, with them, or at least with Mysterio mentioning that, that this is the 616 universe and he's coming from the 833 universe. Personally, I don't like that numbering, mainly because the Marvel Cinematic Universe is supposed to be your 199 universe, and I kind of like to keep that way and keep the comics this way. So it's not like it has to have the exact same thing happen in it, because if it doesn't, then it's just not that universe. But either way, one thing I would like them to be distinctive with, if they do take this route, is not to make it seem like, if the snap does bring mutants into the MCU, not to make it seem like it's gamma radiation related. Don't make it seem gamma radiation related, because I think that will just confuse a lot of people. But more so, tie it into the Mind Stone, and the Mind Stone having its effects on people throughout the universe, just going from there going forward. So that's what I think about it. But yeah, I just want to get you guys' thoughts on this. It's something I've seen kind of floating around online, and I wanted to chime in with you guys and see what you guys think. If the MCU should even tie it together and have it bring the mutants in as far as a snap, or should they just find a completely different way? Or should they do it like Spider-Man Far From Home and just have it come from another universe? Like, how do you guys think they should do it? Me personally, I do like the snap idea, but I do believe that it should be done carefully, not tied too closely to gamma radiation, but more so focusing on the Mind Stone and how it had its effects on Wanda and her brother as well. So yeah, but let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll do it again on the next one. All right, later.